those church bells toll. I stop and I wonder, Lord, how long. I see the hush wheel, they are rolling too. Then I tell myself, that could have been you. I'm gonna run, gotta run every day, gotta run. I gotta run while the blood keep running warm in my veins. When these eyes, the mind is closed, and the blood in my vein is cold. When I step out of life back door, I won't be able to yawn. Then I can't run no more. I'm gonna run. I gotta run. Every day I'm gonna run. I gotta run while the blood keep running warm in my veins. Gotta run, gotta run, gotta run. He'll get high, but I gotta run. Valleys get low, but I gotta run. Step gets real slow, but I gotta run. Friends are gone, but I gotta run. Sometimes it looks like I just can't make it. Heel all around, enemy coming behind. Ain't got nowhere to go, but I still wait. Look up, and I tell it I gotta run, 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 run. Gotta run, 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 run. Gotta run, 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 gotta run.
good, girl. Hey, you guys. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Thank you for joining us on Toya with the T. I know it's been a while, you guys. Happy holidays. Oh, man, it's been a long time. I feel like it's been so long since I've been here to be able to talk with you guys, man. So I want to thank y'all for joining in the show today. I got my co-host in the building, Miss Anna Q, Anna Quiones. We got our New Order family in the building. And of course, you know, we're going to talk about something real special and close to the heart today. We're going to talk about sex and human trafficking. For those of y'all that know me, y'all know that we're trying to plan something really big to kind of spread the word and awareness on human and sex trafficking. So definitely, let me get you guys to go over and check out Toya with the T, like and share, and go to DKM Radio 1.1, like and share, so that way we can keep our communities and our family safe. So, you know, I got to get started with prayers, honey, because let me tell you something. God is the one that runs this thing, y'all. So I'm going to start it off real quick one time with some prayers to my Lord to thank you for everything he's given me so far. On three. 1, 2, 3, y'all. All right, Father, we thank you for another glorious day, Lord. We thank you for everything that you've given us, Lord. Thank you for the strength and the power and the ability to be able to do these great, wondrous things you put inside of our hearts, Lord. We ask that you continue to keep a prayer, a covering of protection over us, and make sure you just keep us protected. Keep those connected to us protected, and continue to guide our hearts and our minds as we do what is your will, Lord. And we want to thank you for everything you've given us today, tomorrow, and forever. In Jesus' name, amen, amen. All right, y'all, motivational moment. We got a caller on the line. Thank you so much for calling Toya with the T. Let me get you 1 second, caller, okay? We'll be with you in one moment, okay?
Okay.
All right, great. So, y'all know every time I get on here, I got to come with something motivational, y'all, because you know what? At the end of the day, we got enough haters out there waiting on us. So, if there's something that you got in your heart, let me tell you something. Go for it. Don't you let nobody tell you no different. Yes, it's nothing you can do worse than be against yourself. Now keep in mind, everybody gonna be landing up on the sidelines to tell you what you can't do, but I'm gonna need you to dig down in there and show them that you can do it, because at the end of the day, it ain't gonna be but one person going to cash that check, cha-ching, and that's you. So do not let nobody come in between you and your destiny, because you can make it happen, and if you don't, I do it for you. Just holler at your girl. But all right, y'all, we're gonna get this thing started, because we got something that is like a plague to our community, you guys. We got some serious issues with human trafficking, organ trafficking, sex trafficking, and things like that. So what I did today is, as I am formalizing some things that we can do in the community, you know, there's plenty of efforts going on everywhere, but this is what I want to do to kind of play my part in keeping our communities and our families and our kids safe. So basically, we've reached out to a couple of organizations. For those of you guys who checked us out a couple of weeks ago, myself and Miss Anna had Out of Darkness in the building talking about some things. And today, we got a special caller in the line, Mr. Kimani Sadiq, as well as Georgia Cares.org. We're waiting on Miss Tony Watkins, and she's going to come give us some information about sex and human trafficking. But to get us started, on the line right now, we have a Kamani Sadiq, great king of the community, you guys. Definitely love his skills. And basically, we went to a seminar, and he gave us a lot of great tips and tricks to kind of help us keep safe when we're dealing in the streets. You know, we going to work, we're going home, we're going to school, and as women and children, we really got to be on our toes. And he got some really good informational tips to be able to help ladies when it comes to being able to maneuver in the streets. So thank you for giving us a call today, Mr. Kamani. How you doing today?
Man, I'm good, sis. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for calling. So basically, you know, our segment today is on human trafficking. Myself and Miss Anna, also, who's my co-host today, this is something that reaches very near and dear to our hearts. So if you would, please, can you take a couple of minutes and maybe let the fans in the audience know exactly, you know, what your angle is, what you do, and how you are using the tools that you can to help us fight this human and sex trafficking issue?
Well, yes, I'd like to say it's a bunch of complicated. I used to be an investigator, so the investigation part does kind of come naturally for me, but it doesn't require a whole lot of investigative skills to ask questions get somebody's acquaintances and that kind of thing, and just kind of run this thing to the ground and find out, well, where the last time a person was in an area and stuff like that, and narrow things down. We can get these babies back. What my organization is, honestly, is just a bunch of military guys and honestly a few ex-gangbangers that we're just tired. Tired of seeing our women missing. A lot of younger guys than myself. We're more tired than that than we are. This younger generation, man. You have to forgive me. I'm a little fatigued because we've been up for the last 3 days running down these particular cases that I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. This younger generation. When I talk to them, I tell them that they should be the ones out there doing this. I'm 46 years old. They're not really snatching my women. You know what I'm saying? They're not really snatching my demographic. They're snatching women about 25 and below, that sort of thing. And if we don't get out here and put a stop to it, if we don't ask the tough questions to the tough guys, and be willing to do some things that may potentially end up in violence, then we're not going to get our babies back, and there's going to be no penalty for taking our babies, because everybody's involved. Everybody, from the street nigga to the police, to the mayor's office, to the governorship, all the way up to the vice president of the United States of America. Wow. And that's just in this country. Right. So we're not just fighting money, man. We're fighting. There's a deeper root to this that I don't even think we have the time to get into. It's a frequency thing that they're doing. I don't want to start rambling.
You good, brother? You good?
All right. Okay, we understand that this thing is not about money, right? It's about money to broke people. But the reason that this big trafficking has been going on for years, and there's a cover of the Jet magazine from like 2013 where it said like 46,000 black women were missing in America. Trafficking has been going on forever. The publicity and everybody talking about it, that's deliberate. The same way the police killings were the deliberate thing up until this sex trafficking thing became the deliberate thing. They put out there what they want us to be concerned about to keep the energy on this planet low and to stop us from ascending into 5D next year that starts January 11th.
Yeah.
Now that's the underlying reason for it all. But I know a lot of people probably listening to this conversation won't even be able to go that deeply into this thing. But no matter what the reason is, no matter what people may agree or think the reason is, it doesn't matter. Our babies are being taken at an alarming rate.
That's right.
And I made a Facebook post the other day, and our sisters, man, y'all gotta start holding our men responsible.
That's right.
A lot of this comes back on the sister, because now we already know what we're not doing as a black man. We already know it's not a lot of us, or it's not enough of us out here doing what my organization and a few other organizations around the country are doing. We already established the cowardice that's been beaten into the black man. We got that. It's there. It's prevalent. And not to mention the deliberate effeminization of our men. It's all there. We got it. So what does that leave us? It leaves us to our sisters. If our sisters are still laying next to men who aren't taking this thing seriously, they're not escorting their women to back and forth to work, they're not escorting their children, and more importantly, they're not leaving their children in a home and going out and patrolling these streets to keep our neighborhoods safe. I don't understand that level of thinking in a woman. Like, to see what's going on and to just fall back and be like, well, I got my protection. What's this? No, you don't, because he can't even be with you all the time. So the bottom line is, it all has to stop. So until y'all start holding our men accountable, sis, start holding these brothers accountable. Y'all starve these brothers for attention and affection. That's all they want in the first place. Yeah. Y'all starve them for attention and affection until y'all start to feel safe. These brothers that get out here and start doing what me and my men are doing.
That's right.
So I got plenty of guys going off the set. I got guys right now that ain't had sleep in 3 days, and they're, as we speak, escorting a trafficking victim that was able to get away. I'm not going to give any details. We were able to get her back to her parents, and she's on the way to the hospital right now to be checked out for some things that went on with her.
Right.
So man, this is a serious thing, man. And I get upset because as black people, man, we ride the wave, you know, and as soon as they show us the shiny new nickel, we're off of something and on to something else. And our babies are steady coming up missing by the thousands every day. I got a call from a brother the other day. This is a man. We had just came off patrol, and we had stopped to have breakfast. A brother called me on my phone, hysterical, out of breath, saying, Kamani, my kids just got chased. They were on their way to school. They got chased back to the house by the van, the quote-unquote van with the locks on the outside. It was an AT&T van with 2 ladders on the top, a lock on the back door. And they're chasing our children through the neighborhood. Now, mind you, the places I went to have breakfast because I was going to eat, then go home and take a nap, was about 25 minutes away from where the brother called me. So I got up, went to the address that he sent me. Now, it took me 25 minutes to get there. When I got there, he had told me that the van had just left the neighborhood 5 minutes prior to me getting there. So what that tells me is for 20 minutes, they riding around looking for our babies. They ain't worried about police.
Yep.
They're not worried about no men from the community, wondering why you scouring neighborhoods, looking for children in a creepy van. Nothing. They have zero fear.
Yep.
So Kimani, first of all, I want to applaud you for what you do. My name is Anna. I'm very upset I couldn't make it to the documentary and what you were teaching the community. I'd like to ask, what is the name of your organization in case any of our men would like to get involved in what it is that you do? If you can please give that information out, and then I have another question after that.
Well, honestly, we didn't even name the organization. Gotcha. Because what it was myself and a bunch of other concerned brothers, and I'm a head of my own organization, and they're the heads of their organizations. Gotcha. So what we did was divest ourselves of all these egos and found like-minded guys. Right. And got together and just stopped it.
That's right.
I mean, or attempted, making an effort to stop it.
Yeah, and that's wonderful that you guys do this and are out on the streets, and I'm glad you were able to work to get this child out of the streets, and as she is on her way to the hospital, as you mentioned earlier. One more question that I have is on some of your self-defense tactics, what exactly is it that our children can do? Because I was able to get some from what Toya shared, and I shared with my teenage and my 22-year-old daughter, both of them, some of those tactics. But is it possible for you to, over the phone, explain to these girls, and in some cases boys as well, because we know that this is something that's hitting everybody, ways that they can defend themselves and at least come out alive, and at least not be trafficked, and at least be able to get the help.
And Kimani, I was there with you, so I'm gonna kind of help you out, and if you want to talk me through it, I remember 2 of the things that you tried, and I'm gonna use you as a
go ahead, sis.
As a
go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? We got somebody that's gonna play the part, but I'm gonna show the things that I learned when I was with you. And some people are asking who's on the line. This is Kimani Sadiq. I don't know if you mind if they go to your Facebook, but Kimani Sadiq, he's a real true king in the community, guys. He's just tired of it. He over police. He over all that. He's standing up, gathering some men, and they're putting their foot down, period. But basically, ladies, a couple of things that he showed us in the seminar is one thing is oftentimes when we ride with Uber, always check before you get into that vehicle if they have childproof locks. If it does, remove them, ask it to be removed. Once you get in the car, in the event you should still, and again, we have spider senses. We're humans. We're the most powerful people in the world. We have spider senses. If something don't feel right, keep your eyes open. When you go to enter in the car, sit on the side opposite of the driver so you can see the driver. So if the driver is in the front driver's side, you're going to sit in the back passenger side, so that way you will always have a view on what they're doing, whether they're texting, talking, because 9 times out of 10, it's staged, it's a setup just like anything else, so you would be able to keep an eye on them. If they are texting, tell them I would appreciate that you please not do that. In the event now, these things don't work. They lock it, you can't get out. We got keys. This is something I've been telling my 9-year-old niece for the longest. She's 16, and every time she called me from New York, Auntie, can I get an Uber? I'm on the phone with her in the Uber, and I tell her, what you supposed to do when somebody grab you? Auntie, what you supposed to do, girl, when somebody grab you? Stick them in the eye with my key. That right, and I promise they're going to do what? They're going to let you go. Mm-hmm. And this is exactly how I knew I was on point, because with Kamani, he took the key, and as we got our Uber driver right here, okay? And he's not cooperating. He's not letting me out. So as I take my key and he's over here, I'm on the side. We're going to take this key toward the ear. That's one of the most sensitive parts of the body. And 9 times out of 10, jug it. He finna kill you. Don't be scared. Jug it all the way in there. Jug his brain out. Do you understand what I'm saying?
That's right.
Because you might not make it at home. That's one of them. Another technique he showed. That right, you know, I'm from Brooklyn. I ain't never scared. I be looking for somebody. Please roll up on me, because I ain't beat me nobody up since 02. Bring it. Just saying. The second thing is pocketbook. Brother, can you pass my pocketbook? Ladies, you know we always keep pocketbook, book bag, whatever. Something with a strap. Hair weave, I don't care. You're walking around like Rumpelstiltskin. You better hope it got some strength on it. Because in the event, that don't work, right? And you got your pocketbook strap. And here we are again. Slide behind him. I'm not going to really put over your head, okay, but we're going to put it over his neck. We're going to pull. We're going to put our knees in the seat, and we're going to snap his head off. Do y'all hear me? Y'all not feeling me. I said snap his head off. Don't stop. The car might crash possibly, but you won't be dead. Your job is to get away alive. Forget the other person. Forget their feelings. Forget you hurting them. Forget whatever it is. Your job is to make sure you defend yourself, get away alive, and once you do get away, broke leg or whatever, screaming, hollering, you calling police, you calling 911, you running, you screaming, and you running for help. So I know those are 2 of the things that I did take with me from that. Being from Brooklyn, I stay ready on go. I ain't gonna tell y'all what I carry. It might incriminate me. But anything that I missed, brother, anything else that you want to bring to that? Again, you guys, for everybody watching, this is Kimani Sadiq, a real true queen, real true king in the neighborhood, going around patrolling us, holding it down. Over police officers, over all this other stuff. Y'all not doing nothing to stop our babies, then we finna stand up and stop people from taking our babies and terrorizing our communities. So that's who we got on the line. And anything else you would like to share to tell women on how we can prevent ourselves? And then we're going to slide over to Miss Tony Watkins. We have in the building from Georgia Cares and get some statistics on that portion of the human trafficking. And then we're going to come back to you, brother, okay?
Roger. Listen, sis, I'm sitting here and I'm marveling at the way that you're regurgitating everything. I mean, almost down to the enunciation of my words. Like you delivered it. I couldn't have delivered it better myself. And since I'm not from Brooklyn, I'm not as animated, so it's certainly more entertaining. Yeah, ladies, listen. On a serious note, listen. I don't deal with laws. I'm a native man. I'm a Blackfoot Indian. I don't care what you wrote down on your paper. You ain't supposed to be here. It is your natural right to defend yourself. All of my kids were strapped at 18. When they left my house, they left with a pistol because I would rather, it's just me, I'd rather you shoot it out with somebody than go to jail over some bullshit. That's just me because ain't no telling what's going to happen when you get in there. Now, if I don't care about them going that route, I certainly don't care about them shooting somebody that's trying to take their lives. Right. You have the right to defend yourself. And the thing about it is, ladies, it's so dangerous out here. I can't emphasize it enough because even some girls that are walking around with no headphones on and don't have their noses buried in Instagram on their phones, it happens so quickly that first knock on the head is all you need to be dizzy, and by the time you're trying to come to in the back of the car, because these guys even know where to hit you. Yep. Right under that little knot behind your ear, there's a little reset button back there. Yep. So that when they hit you with that brick, you're gonna be woozy, and next thing you know, you're gonna be woozy in the backseat of that car. And when you wake up, they're gonna be shoving pills and alcohol down your throat. Yeah. This is really, really real. So there's a few things we have to do. We have to think in terms of self-preservation, first of all. We have to go only the necessary places. We have to go in groups. We have to carry weapons that we are trained to have. You know how many people I know got a gun and don't know how to use it?
Right.
You know how many guns I got for $50 that were worth $400-$500 because somebody thought they was broken, they were just dirty?
Yep.
Like we'll put pride. We'll go to the nail shop every day to get every other week to get our nails done and all that other stuff, but we won't think about staying alive with pretty nails. You're gonna be the prettiest, not the prettiest nails in the funeral home.
Say that. Yep. Pretty dead.
We have to change our way of thinking. First of all,
facts.
If you talk to anybody that's ever been overseas and gone to war, they know that we're at war right here.
Yep.
This is war right here, but you don't know if you were born. And now we're in a literal state of emergency because they're trying to go ahead and wipe us out in every way, shape, and form imaginable. And this next year, 2020, y'all think 2019, 2018 was something? Man, please. It's going to get to the point where, y'all see, if you follow me on Facebook, you see the kind of things that I post. Yeah. If you don't know a solid man whose house you can run to or can come to you in an emergency situation, you are in trouble, sis. Mm-hmm. You're in trouble. And these sisters who are in relationships, monogamous relationships, with solid men that are trying to keep them to themselves, and now you can't go see what's going on with her. Y'all dead ass wrong. Because it's 20-1 in this country. Yeah. It's 20-1. So that's all I got. I'm not going to talk y'all to death. Sisters, get out there, get armed. Hit me up with Kamani Sadiq on Facebook. I'll give you knife training, belt training, stick training, gun training, rifle training, anti-tank weapon, whatever you want to learn. Whatever you want to learn. Absolutely. This training is here. I'm not charging an arm and a leg for it. I charge $35 a session. And you know why? Because when you tell black people something is free, they don't come to it.
That's right.
But you can go and pay these white folks $250 to teach you how to shoot at a target that ain't going nowhere. Yep. It's 7 yards in front of you. And I'm teaching how to shoot on the move. I'm teaching how to shoot behind cover. Yep. I'm teaching from the isosceles, the weaver stance. Yep. But black people, we don't hold our own people in as high regard for things like training as we do other people. So
that's all right, brother.
That's all I got, sis. I ain't gonna talk y'all to death. We're gonna move on to my sister.
Yeah, we gonna be in the works. I got you on that, brother. Trust me. We're gonna be implementing some things so that way we can get some training going on here. So keep in mind, honey, we definitely there. And again, let me commend you for everything that you do, and let me be one of the ones first to thank you for those that do not have the voice and are able to thank you. But I know you're gonna come in handy one day. But if you could, brother, do me a favor. Before we go over to Miss Tony Watkins, can you spell out that Facebook for me, that Kamani Sadiq on Facebook, so that way people can go ahead and get it right? And hopefully if they want some information, they can go ahead and hit you up right now.
Absolutely. It's Kimoni Sadiq, Sadiq. And my profile pic is one of the sex trafficking flyers that we had for one of the seminars. Actually, it was the one that you came to, I think, the last one.
Yeah, okay, great.
So that's still up there. So that's how you know you got the right one, if there's another.
Okay, got you. All right, y'all. So y'all heard that. Kamani, Kimoni Sadiq, Sadiq. And absolutely, I make sure I share it on my page, you guys. So if y'all want to check out Toya with the T, I'll share it on there. Or if y'all want to check it out on my original Facebook page, LaToya Fluker, the one and only, honey, you're going to remember that name always and forever. You'll be able to find that on there, too. And we thank you so much. We thank you so much. I ain't got no sense, brother. You're going to get to know me, honey. I ain't got no sense. I left that back in Brooklyn, boo. But right now, we right here on the line with Miss Tony Watkins, all right? Hi, Miss Tony. Me and Tony. Hey, let me tell you something, honey. We've been trying to get with this young lady right here. Yes. I said, the devil, you is a lie.
I know.
It ain't going to work. It's all good because this information finna get out. We finna save our babies, honey. We finna be strapped up in the hood, honey. And let me tell you something. We finna be chasing the traffickers. You heard what I said? We finna be chasing the traffickers. You gonna run up down here one day and you gonna come up missing. So y'all keep it up. I hope the traffickers is watching. You gonna roll up in the GA one day. And it's going to be a whole bums, homeless people, everybody going to be jumping up out of everywhere. And we're going to go ahead and the same thing y'all did. We're going to do the same old thing. And then we're going to turn y'all into Krispy Kreme donuts. Just saying. But, Ms. Tony.
Well, thank you so much.
My
for having me.
pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
I'm sorry it's been so difficult to
It's
get here.
okay.
And also, I apologize in advance for my voice. I'm
It's all right.
still in recovery from a little cold.
It's
so
all right. Come
I
on.
really need to
That's
get me
all
down,
right.
but
Take your
thank
time.
you so much for having us.
pleasure.
And Georgia Cares by extension, yeah.
Absolutely. So tell us about Georgia Cares. Tell us, about the foundation. How does it work with the human sex organ trafficking, things like that?
Sure, absolutely. So Georgia Cares is a nonprofit. It was founded in 2009. In 2013, it branched off from the governor's office into its own initiative, into its own 501c3. Excuse me. The most important thing that I'm going to make sure I say it a lot of times about Georgia Cares is going to be our hotline number.
Okay.
So every time I see it on my page, I'm gonna mention it again,
Absolutely.
which is 844-8GADMST.
Okay.
So Georgia Cares, the only group of people, and excuse me, I do want to make sure that I lead with this. The only group of people that we service is children.
Okay.
And
Under
minors.
18.
Under 18,
Okay.
absolutely. In some cases, if a child or a youth is already in defects custody and that they're 18, 19, then we will serve them until they age out.
Okay.
But in general, we are only serving
18.
minors
Okay.
under the age of 18, which I mean is enough to make you recognize exactly how devastating the problem is. Excuse me, and yeah, absolutely, and absolutely, just kind of for me anyway. One of the things here you go. This is a better one right there. For me anyway, I especially as a Black woman, I was saying this to one of my colleagues. In our community, this isn't something that's really very new. So I knew that a lot of times Black girls go missing and we don't make it to the news.
Yeah.
And we have our own theories within our homes and within our culture and community that we think. So it wasn't until I took my position at Georgia Cares that I really understood just how devastating it was, right? Because even for me, seeing this girl on Facebook or seeing it on the local news once or twice or something really doesn't let you know exactly how many people, that we end up, being able to offer services to, which is way, way, way too many. And, I like you mentioned, you do want some numbers. I do have some to share with everyone, just to kind of demonstrate just how grave the situation, is. So a few different numbers that I can share with you. In this year, we have received over 2,000. I mean, the year is still going on, of course. So we've received roughly 2,200 referral calls. I do want to be clear in just making sure I iterate that a referral is not necessarily someone that has been sex trafficked, but it is someone that someone has a concern about. And that hotline number, 844-8GADMST that I mentioned before, anyone can call that number. So a lot of times it's, we think it's only for a school counselor or a parent or something like that. But if there's a child in your life and you see some of the signs that I'll also, go over with you guys as well, then it is enough to if it's enough to make you raise your eyebrow and you know this kid and you know that they don't usually miss school or all of a sudden they have this romantic partner that's significantly older than them and you just kind of start seeing a lot of the signs that none of them are exclusive and they are not a defining factor, but our hotline is the only hotline in the state that's 24 hours all the time.
Okay.
And our hotline coordinator, she does a wonderful job of making sure that it's staffed with our volunteers, which is a way that people can get engaged.
Okay. Volunteers.
I know when I was in college, I volunteered for a rape hotline, and I knew that before I decided to do that, I was really, really scared, and I thought it was going to be very intimidating and all this stuff. This is much easier, I think, than that was in most cases. So it's definitely not something to be scared of and to be shy. I think if you're an empathetic person and you are concerned, then we definitely would like to invite you to volunteer. We have a volunteer training coming up in January on the 25th in Smyrna. So if that is something that people
heard
are
that. Y'all heard that? January 25th,
in,
Smyrna.
right, absolutely.
Training.
Help.
Volunteer.
We
We need you guys.
the hotline is a great place for people that may work a lot, and work on the weekends or something like that, and don't have a lot of time where they can physically be somewhere or something like that. It's a great way for you to volunteer and do so from home essentially, and still really, really impact and help these young people that are, in such terrible circumstances, kind of have another option.
Any qualifications to take the volunteer training program?
That's a great question. For the most part, we are going to do a background check, obviously.
So if you're I'm going to behave.
Please behave.
No, literally though. Yeah, we are going to do a background check, right? Essentially, that's really going to be just about it. There are other ways that you can volunteer other than the hotline, and I'm sure that the woman that runs the hotline, she likely has some standards, right? So if you can't talk,
right?
If you're not good at
complete
communicating,
right?
Then maybe we want you to engage with us in a social media
at the
fundraising
ticket counter
kind of way.
I don't know about the phone calls. What you say? He did what? Oh no! Wait a minute! Hold on.
Right. So at this stage in the game, we're all adults. You can use your best judgment to kind of see where you fit in, and if like I said, if we have opportunities that are not the right fit with you, and you have some ideas that you want to pitch, we're not.
Let's go.
We're not going to be opposed to it because we want to engage people. We want to see more people having discussions in their communities and coming to our trainings for our speakers bureaus, even so that they can host training sessions in their communities. Georgia Cares has trained over 20,000 people across the state, and just knowing what is DMST? What are the signs? What does it look like? How do you get engaged? How do you reach out to your local law enforcement? What do those things look like? And those things. So we're always looking for people to engage us for trainings. That's a major part of our outreach program because in our mind anyway, one of the biggest things that can fight DMST is awareness.
That's right. Educational awareness.
Mr. Sadiq was talking before, and I know, thank God, I haven't ever had this experience before. But I know even walking my dog sometimes, right? It's like I live by the airport. That's already like, what is this car doing?
Suspect. Hold up now, rolling on slow now. Hold on now.
I've lived in my community for 4 years.
Yeah.
I've had really strange experiences, at night and stuff with people. So just kind of being aware that it's the thing that I need to think about.
Yeah.
Like when he was talking about knowing a person or a man or a neighbor that you can run to. I've had an experience. I was talking to my father maybe 2 weeks ago where my brother and I happened to live on the same street. So I was like, is my house closer or his? Because if I need to run, and then I was like, well, if it's my house, I need to go to a neighbor's house. So knowing your community and knowing, where those
because people will not open up a door.
Hello?
Some people, you better get to know your neighbors, because if they don't know you, you could be banging and screaming for your life. But there's so much going on.
And that's not a Georgia Cares position. That's just a Tony position. Kind of listening to him and being able to amen and say, like, yes, I've had that experience. And just kind of having, it's not a lot of comfort if you think that you're in your potential situation to be abducted, but knowing that there's 4 houses within like 500 feet that I could get to, and there's a house up there where people that I have family, community with. That is a reassuring thing. So just from personal experience, I did just want to say that I really enjoyed him saying, those kind of things. But for young people, the signs are even different. And please forgive me, they're really extensive. So I'm gonna refer back to some of my other things. That I have on my phone. I won't go through all of them. They're very extensive.
Okay.
It's a very extensive list. And like I said before, it certainly isn't a thing where anything on this list definitely means what it is.
Right.
That there are a lot of things that I have experienced on this list. And like I said, I've never, been a victim of sex trafficking as a minor or as an adult. Yes, ma'am?
Sorry to interrupt you,
Sure.
Tony, but can you give that website so that people are able to
Absolutely.
look and review
Thank you
it
so
all?
much. Sure.
That way-
It's going to be www.gacares.org. So we have, a few presentations on the website as well, and different information, kind of like what you guys were showing to your viewers as well. One of the things that I already mentioned was having a significantly older romantic partner. For girls, most most often it's going to be a boyfriend. Excuse me, and unfortunately for young men as well. But having a significantly older boyfriend, physical trauma, like all of a sudden you have a bruise on your eye. Yeah. Right. They're traveling with an older person that's not their parent or guardian. Like all of a sudden, you know, you see this kid and they're
this old man. Right. She's 16. He's 72.
Absolutely. They're right. Right. That gave me pause even after I heard
not
you say
grandpa either. Not taking me to get no ice cream.
They all of a sudden are like exhibiting signs of like anxiety and depression, and I think that is especially like important for people to kind of pay attention to, because I know when I was a child, I didn't have this experience, but I did have my own mental health challenges, and one of the things that was such a blessing in my life was that my parents and my father was just like on top of it. I mean, he was like, why did you paint your nails black today?
Yep.
And I was like,
say that.
I was bored in the store.
Say that. Say that.
But he checked in.
That's facts.
And that was really important. So just kind of paying attention to very like small things. They may not be anything. Black nail polish wasn't a thing for me. I literally he was taking too long to buy his cologne. I remember the day actually, because I remember like it being weird that he was asking me, and then he had to explain. He was like, well, I mean, like, are you depressed? And I was like, what?
Yeah. I just wanted to laugh.
See, you know what? That's good that he did that, because I think with all of us, mental health is something that's so ignored.
Yeah.
And I think that's what leads to a lot of these issues that are going on that we're dealing with now, that we're all on the same page 100%. Trying to fight in different ways. So I'm glad that he did that.
Yeah, me too.
Kudos to your dad. That's amazing.
He is still an amazing father. But, you know, one of the things that you said, just as far as mental health and those kind of things, we stress at the program, you know, there are different demographics that have higher rates and all of those things, but we certainly don't lead with that, because it's very important to us that we don't make a certain population feel like your child is safe because you have this income, you have this socioeconomic or geographic positioning, because any child that's depressed, any child that feels neglected. I was at one of our trainings in Gwinnett County, I believe, and an officer was just kind of recapping some of his experiences saving, you know, young people, and so many of the people, the thing that they had in common was feeling really isolated and things like that. So again, kind of having that oversight over your children, like my father had with me, and other, you know, parents have with their children, is really just kind of mission critical. Let's see, they're running away a lot. And again, you know, sometimes running away is a thing. Sometimes it's not. I ran away for like 12 hours to my bed director's house once. And again, it wasn't that. But
your parents were about 12 hours, and then you came right back.
Yeah, we all hate our parents until we get to somebody else's house and see all the roaches. They'd be like,
hold on, now, Dr. Rhoda did not have any. She very well. I'm probably gonna share this with her. She's still in my life. I need to be very clear. She had a very, very clean house.
Oh, okay. That's why you ran away, because you get over there. Oh, there's too many roaches in here. I want to go back home.
Oh man, no. She
inspect your environments before you run away, cheering.
And a very clean woman.
I miss my mama's cooking. I'm going back home.
Right. Now that may have had something to do with it. But they are, if you know a child that's experiencing homelessness, that's a child that's at greater risk, just from exposure. Yeah. You know, I know that the safest place that I feel is my house. Yeah. I have blocks. I know my community and those kind of things. And when that's removed from someone that's really unstabilizing, and will create some of those feelings of isolation and anxiety and depression anyway. Right. Void of the just presence, the physical risks that would be associated with that as well. Right. They have a whole bunch of money out of nowhere. Right.
Could be a drug dealer.
And again, that's why it's good if any of these signs, right, that you see in someone, call the hotline, check in, because even if they are not, we don't move them to the next step, which would be to have an
evaluation
assessment. Yes, ma'am. To have an assessment, we're still going to give you resources for whatever your issue may be. If it's an adult you're trying to refer, we're going to give you an adult resource for them. If we think that it may be something else, we have resources in those communities to help you out.
All right. So Georgia Cares, is it just for human trafficking, or this is covered an array of different things? Because as you're sitting here talking, I thought about some things when I was about 19 years old. I wasn't abducted, but I was held at gunpoint. Took me, handled my business, honey. I was just worried about getting away alive. And it was a rape case. I fully, totally cooperated because I didn't know what was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? And I just thought to myself, hey, I have sex for free, so if I need to get away alive, I need to go ahead and do whatever he want me to do. And that's how I wound up getting away. However, I do know that certain abuses, been there, done all that, 9 years old, abused, molested, all that stuff there. Normally when you're in abusive situations, this can go hand in hand with something like this.
Sure.
Because not only you can be living with the parents, and it doesn't have to be just the stability of the home taken away, but just the stability of trust in a child, and it will make them do different things. Like, for instance, I wasn't a child that I didn't give my father signs because I held it internally. So I would sneak out and do things, you know, but he just had to know. You know what I'm saying? He just knew, you all right? You're good? And I was really good at hiding things.
Right.
And I internalized it and took it into my adulthood because sometimes you can get away. But the more that you talk about this, the more I think about it, is because sometimes we might take certain situations and say, it doesn't apply to me because, and it's not necessarily true.
Sure. And you know what? That in a case like that, because I am not coming from the mental health background and I'm not on that team, and like a huge shout out, if you will, to our care coordinators that are literally on the front lines and dealing with these young boys and girls and just youth in general. Excuse me, because the level of secondhand trauma that they experience is not even something that I could imagine. If you're questioning it, call the hotline, right? Which again is 844-HEADMST, because there are nuances that are a part of CSEC, which is child sexual exploitation. Excuse me.
Committee or something like that.
Right. So there are aspects of that are not exactly what you think. So when we think of DMST or sex trafficking, period, we have a very strict view of, I'm kidnapping you, I'm taking you to a new place, I'm going to pimp you out, you're not going to see anyone else. It can happen that way, it does happen that way, but it can also happen just being a family member that's giving you a new cell phone or giving you some money, and that doesn't feel the same way sometimes. So again, if it's something that you are like, this doesn't feel right, this isn't really, I'm not really sure, then we want you to call the hotline. Someone is definitely going to answer the phone, right? Someone's definitely going to answer, and if we think that, or excuse me, if they think that it has, if it fits into what is just kind of considered the legal definition, which is really just very simply the exchange of sex or sexual gratification for some kind of good or service. So I'll give you a ride. I mean, it can be really what can look to someone as very small. But of course, as adults, we know that it's really a huge thing. And then of course, if you are someone that's interacting with a child and they've been experiencing something from a very young age, things that are normal to them are not necessarily going to seem problematic. So again, that's kind of why it's important as you interact with youth that are in your life to, just be really on top of things and ask those questions. And if you're ever in doubt, call the hotline. Because if you're wrong, they're not going to be upset. They're just going to try and help you find the person that you do actually need to talk to that can give you more supportive services than perhaps we can. So to answer that question shortly, we only deal with DMST and CSEC. However, those definitions are much broader than most people think.
Okay.
So if you're having some kind of issue with a youth and you think that there's some kind of sexual trauma or something like that, please just call the hotline. And because they are trained and they are professionals and they can give you a really solid answer on, does this fall into that? Because after they have the assessment, a lot of times those, even after you get past the hotline, if you make it into the assessment, not all of those youth are confirmed victims, as we call them as well. So only the confirmed victims receive our care coordination and our direct services. But everyone has, if we have a resource, we're not going to hoard it. We're not going to hide it from you. We're going to try and make sure that we get that to you regardless of what the problem is. But if you're under 18 or 19, then definitely just reach out and
Oh,
ask us, because if we don't know, we know somebody that does.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if Toya told you,
Sure.
we were fortunate enough, what was it, like 3 weeks ago, on Toya's show, Toya with the T, to be able to speak to somebody from Out of Darkness, which I hear is an organization that you guys unite with. They deal with adult situations,
Right.
and the referrals go to your organization. She spoke very highly of your organization. I'm just
Excellent.
kind of glad that, we're able to hear it from the youth standpoint,
Sure.
because we got some numbers from her in the adult
Adult part.
part,
Absolutely.
and
Yeah.
that was scary.
Yeah.
So to think of what goes on, and I know you're trying to get numbers, but I just wanted
it's
to
okay.
add that in, that
Yeah, absolutely.
even with that organization, and I'm trying to work along with Toya to knock a lot of this sex trafficking out. We're doing whatever it takes. Whatever I can do, whatever she can do, we're going to unite with as many organizations as
Yes.
possible, because that's what it's going to take. It's going to take those numbers.
Yeah.
Right. So ultimately, please let us come and do a training. That's really what we want to do, because the first thing that does is just bring awareness to people that didn't even know. And for a lot of people, they end up at our trainings because they qualify for continuing education credits or units.
All right, so when we gonna get this training on here? When can we be here to get this training? Y'all better
So
listen
the first
closely.
one that we have scheduled is for January 25th.
Okay.
That's in Smyrna. We are gonna, of course,
Pick another location.
right. Well, I don't know. We're trying to figure out how to make it more accessible over the state,
Okay.
be it perhaps online stuff, or having our trainer actually go there. So we are going to be able to very soon kind of expand where those trainings happen.
Okay.
But for now, that is where the first one is. And please reach out to me. I'll share my email, of course, with everyone at the end. But please reach out to me to let me know that you're interested in a training and where you are, so that we can
Coordinate.
work with you.
Yeah.
Because if you can get us an audience of a few people, then we'll
Come on.
drive.
Okay.
We're not opposed. We can't justify the drive for one person, but
Yeah.
we can justify
5
it
or
for
6.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be a huge group,
Okay.
because after we train you and we give you the information, we're hoping that it's going to be a ripple effect. And out of this 20-some thousand people that we've already trained, we're counting on them to spread that to all of their
21,000.
communities exactly
Right.
as well. But as I was saying, a lot of people end up at the trainings for CEUs, continuing education
Oh,
units.
absolutely.
So if you need those, come to our training.
Okay.
It's 2 hours, and it's not a bad training at all. It's not very boring.
Okay.
It's really interactive, and of course, as this is kind of building a lot more momentum and getting a lot more attention. We definitely want to kind of capitalize on that. We're coming into January, which is National Sex Trafficking Awareness Month.
Yep.
Yes.
Such a hard, long thing to get out.
Yeah.
So we're definitely trying to really, really capitalize on the energy that's going to be around, because I think as the brother said earlier, our attention just as humans doesn't stay on stuff for a very long time.
Yep.
Right? So right now, sex trafficking is in
It's a hot
people's
topic,
minds.
man.
We're looking
Everywhere,
at
yeah.
reports come from the news,
Yeah.
come across our news headlines about those victims and those kind of things. So everyone's talking about it. Everyone's thinking about it.
Yeah.
Hopefully in the future we won't be talking about it because it won't be an issue. But
Yeah.
regardless, we really want to capitalize on the energy and the synergy that's going on around it now, and get our feet in as many doors as we can to let people know what that is. So that's why I'm so excited to be here.
Absolutely.
Just to have
Me
a little
too.
bit of time, to share some information.
Yeah.
I also
Get that
wanted
one
to
out.
ask you something, and I was talking to Toya about this. And
Sure.
Kimani, if you're still on the phone, maybe we can get your opinion on this as well. I hear that now what they're doing is with the doorbell, the Alexa doorbell ring, I think it's called, I believe it's called. Now they're dressing up as Santa Claus and telling kids to come on out because they have a present for them. This is how bold they're getting.
Yeah.
I was talking to Toya about it because I was thinking of getting one now. People who know me know I have a disabled child who is vulnerable enough to think that Santa
Santa
Claus
Claus
up
open the
there,
door.
even
Yeah.
though he's going to be 15 Monday.
Yeah.
Mentally he's not there. So I'm not getting that. There's no way. I'll just stick to the old school. You ring the doorbell. If I don't see who you are at the people, I'm
I
not
ain't
opening it.
That's
You
right.
know what I'm saying?
That's new and news to me. I thought you were going to talk about people hacking into them. Like, I thought that's the direction you're going in. No, I haven't heard of that. It's terrifying. And, wow.
It's a lot.
It's
a lot.
That
I mean,
is a lot.
it's some deep stories. They have stories like Kamani said, AT&T truck. They're dressing up like people. They're dressing up like officers. Some of them are DFAX officers and Disney workers. And I mean, it's just really bananas. But again, if you take this training to become aware, regardless of the circumstances, this awareness will be able to help you be able to maneuver and be able to get out of situations. But one of the things I want to ask you, because we're running out of time, we got about 7 more minutes, is that we're looking to throw like the biggest human trafficking awareness concert ever.
Okay.
Hopefully in April, and we are looking to work with as many organizations as possible, as many people to be able to help teach us self-defense and put together packages and things like that. So definitely, we would definitely love to work with you on that.
Please,
to be able to definitely get that going. Right. And one of the things we want to do is we want to help spread this awareness. I don't know exactly how this works with schools and churches and things like that, but I know that I'm a big advocate for domestic abuse and things like that. So I work for Darkness to Light is a sexual abuse program that I'm certified to teach for. Alpha 2 Omega is another community. I'm just all about community.
Certified to teach with us as well.
I'm coming because I'm all about motivating community. I'm about putting our resources together.
That's right.
You know, I got a goon stick in the car, so I can be y'all protection too. But don't tell nobody. I got all black and my goon stick in the car, so
I believe
I'm just
all
saying
of
that.
that.
Yeah, it's facts. It's facts. But I'm gonna leave that alone. But no, I really would like to work together because I really want to put a stop to it. When I'm so serious, I need homeless people down. What we need to buy you a phone, and when these vans start rolling up, honey, we need to. Hey, it's a white van over here. I mean, and we need to start jumping up like the war out of bushes, swinging from trees, jumping out of buildings. I mean, SWAT basically needs to pull up. So that's what we want to do.
Yeah.
How feasible is that to do something like that with companies and nonprofit? Like, how can we formulate like the biggest, hugest ever event?
We need some money.
We're going to make that money, honey. We don't need that
right.
money. We're going to make that. I can sing, I can
it's
dance.
money, because look at what Kimani's doing.
Yeah.
They're doing that on their own.
Well,
time.
I was kind of just thinking about the production.
The production
right?
part, yeah.
Right. But no, you're absolutely right. We don't need a lot of money to just get
the battle stations.
Right.
Yeah.
No, you don't. You absolutely don't. And it really kind of is just having that awareness again and talking to as many people as you can. So anybody that's watching, please share the videos. Share the IG lives and share the Facebook lives that we have. I know that I will, because the more you know, right?
Yeah.
The more you know, the better you'll do. But I do think that something like that is possible. I do think that I would love to, just as an independent person, try and see how I can help you, orchestrate something like that. And if I'm not able to, just kind of connect you with some of the resources that I have that would be interested in that. A lot of people are coming to mind because, again, it's a huge issue. There's a lot of synergy around it. There's a lot of energy. I definitely think to your point of not needing a lot of money, I think there's a lot of stuff that you can get donated. As far as like celebrity time and things like that. So I think it's a great idea, and I definitely think that Georgia Cares would more than be excited to be a part of something like that.
Great.
So celebrities, politicians, anybody that's hearing this that gets it forwarded to them, please get involved.
I know a couple of people out there too. Usher Raymond, we go way back. I need y'all to share. Usher, this your girl. Toya, you already know. Holla at me. Young Jock, you too. Yeah. You remember me. Toya with the T. I'm going to need y'all to holla at me. So y'all share. Anybody else? Look here, y'all. Goon stick in the car, right? But I'm on the air. So on the air, I'm going to need as much help as possible, okay? We're going to need donations. We're going to need donations for bail. Because I'm telling you, if I run up on the van, I'm going to jail. So I'm going to need some bail money. All right? We're going to need some commissary money, things like that. So we're going to need your donations. We're going to need your donations. But absolutely, guys, this is what we're talking about. Kamani Sadiq on the line. Powerful king in the community. Miss Tony Watkins from Georgia Cares gave a wealth of information. We're going to come back to her in a second so we can get her information. Miss Anna Quinones, my co-host, great job. We're here fighting against human trafficking. So we're gonna put the word out, human traffickers. If you're watching, which I hope you don't watch, we're coming for you. We get the Goon Squad fighting traffic.
Watching,
that's what we're doing. So I'm telling you, if you roll up on this hood, they're not gonna see you no more, bro. I'm just letting you know right now. They're not gonna see you no more. So don't get caught.
Have us all arrested.
I don't care. Arrest me. Let them free.
I can't go.
I go all by myself. You're gonna come up missing. You keep rolling in the hood now. But no, all jokes aside, yeah, I would definitely look forward, you guys. We're going to be trying to plan the biggest concert to be able to spread the awareness on sex trafficking and human trafficking, domestic violence, anything we can to help our communities, man. Because not only after human trafficking, there's steps we're going to have to take after that. There's counseling we're going to need. There's mental health issues we have to attack in the community.
And Georgia Cares can help with all of that.
You see that with all of that stuff, and this is what it is, because you know what? There's so many things, and people always want to say, "Oh, you can't do this, you can't do that." No, we got different things in different places, and together we can do it. So if we just align our resources, we know trauma is going to have to be treated. We know food. We know clothing. We know that there's certain hot points that help make us whole. So what we're trying to do, if you know organizations, if you want to be a part of it, if you want to try to put a stop to helping our communities become safe, if you want to put a stop to our babies coming up missing, if you want to do something different for our communities and make a change, hit us up here at DKM Radio. Check it out. You can hit me up on Toya with the T. You can hit me up on my regular Facebook page, Latoya Fluker, Fluker. Ain't but 5 of us, so yeah, never forget that name. And absolutely, any of our platforms, feel free to drop a message, drop a note. Let us know you want to be involved. We really need your help. Do not let it be your sister or your cousin or your brother or your child before now. You want to stand up and do something, get some help. An hour a day. There's $65,000 people in one county at a time. If one person takes 1 hour a day just to patrol their area, that's 65,000 hours of manpower that we can put towards protecting our communities. Do you know what prevention that is? We just got to get together, y'all. They're like dollars. If we stick together, we can make $1 million. Just saying. So we need y'all help, y'all. We love y'all so much. This is another Toya with the T with Miss Tony Watkins bringing us a wealth of information. Mr. Kamani Sadiq, we got a true king out here in the streets. We're patrolling.
People my email.
Absolutely. Go ahead. Email. Yep, she's going to drop her information right now.
Sure. It's T as in Tony, WATKINS@gacares.org. Please follow us on all of your social media. Georgia Cares. Instagram is going to be GA Cares. We do tips every Tuesday, as well as just, sharing other information on how you can get engaged. Thank you so much for having us. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
I wanted to make sure I gave them my contact information.
You're good. Don't be stealing my job. You already got it.
844-HEA-DMST. Just let that stick in your head.
All right, you guys. You got it. Miss Tony Watkins from Georgia Kids. Y'all got that info. Miss Tony trying to take my job. Y'all heard her? She said, wait a minute, hold up. Let me put this email on, honey, so when they get ready to call me, boo, I need to get this right. Not a problem. I know how to slide to the side, y'all. Goon stick still in the trunk, though. I'm just saying. I'm scared. Just joking. But no, we thank y'all so much for joining Toya with the T tonight, man. Mr. Kamani Sadiq, we thank you so much. Keep doing what you're doing. If you guys, if there's anybody out there, ladies, honey, let me tell you something. I ain't never scared. We're going to be having classes over here, too. I'm going to teach y'all about them hands. If y'all want to get out there and try to help protect our communities, feel free to reach out to any one of our social medias. Thank you so much, Miss Tony Watkins from Georgia Cares. Thank you again from... who was that? Out of Darkness that came a couple of weeks ago. Thank y'all so much. I look forward to working with y'all. Thank you, Anna Quiones. And New Order Human Rights Organization, my organization, Brother Jerry Rose. Thank you so much to the best producer in the world over here, Mr. Raheen Ajame from DKMradio.com. And if you guys need anything from us, let us know. You name it, we got it, honey. You need some goons taken care of, you holla at Toya T. If you need any advertising, you're going to holler at DKM Radio. And you know what? We always trying to save somebody. We love the kids. You know what? And a lot of these issues come from just not having hearty, healthy meals. So with this connection that we're doing with all of these nonprofits that we're going to be working with, we got to bring y'all to a cup of love, man. A cup of love. So basically, this is our program that we're launching for kids to be able to have something to eat over the weekend. Oftentimes, the only meal that kids have is their lunch meal, and we want to put a stop to that because that causes whole other list of problems when you don't eat properly and your brain, you can't think right and you don't make right decisions because you haven't had the proper nutrients. So Cup of Love, you guys, that is a program we're doing here with DKM Radio. We're going to get the kids backpacks. We're going to fill them up with food, and we're going to let them take them home. They're going to pick them up on Friday. They're going to drop it back off on Monday. And even in the summertime, we don't want them going the whole summer hungry. So we have 2 churches straight out of Griffin, Georgia, that's going to be help donating some food as well as some other locations in Gwinnett County to be able to help keep our kids fed, healthy, and strong so that way their minds will be able to make the right choices and decisions. And they're going to need to have the strength to run, honey. If they got to get away from one of these traffickers, honey, they can't do that if they're hungry. So we're going to need y'all help. Cup of Love, y'all. Help us buy the kids with bags, stuff it with food so we can keep them fed. Now, weekends, summertime, spring break, we're doing everything we can to try to make sure we do all we can to save our communities. But that's it, y'all. Y'all know I always got something to say. Honey, I love to talk, baby. One day I'm going to get paid for it real quick. But we thank y'all so much. Remember, y'all keep going for your destiny. Don't you let nothing stop you from your destiny except for space and opportunity. You know that? Because that's all that's in between it. It's just space and opportunity. We thank y'all so much. Y'all have a good day. Bye. Love y'all.
I'm running for my life, running 'cause I wanna see Christ. I've made it in my mind, I'm gonna run while I still got time. I'm gonna run, gotta run. I gotta run. I gotta run. While the blood keep running warm in my veins. When I hear those church bells toll, I stop and I wonder, Lord, how long? I see the hush wheels, they're rolling too. Then I tell myself, that could have been you. I'm gonna run, gotta run. Every day, gotta run. I gotta run while the blood keep running. and the blood in my vein is cold. When I step out of life back door, I won't be able to yawn. Then I can't run no more. I'm gonna run. I gotta run. Every day I'm gonna run. I gotta run. While the blood keep running warm in my veins. Gotta run. Gotta run. Gotta run. He'll get high, but I gotta run. Valleys get low, but I gotta run. Step gets real slow, but I gotta run. Friends are gone, but I gotta run. Sometimes it looks like I just can't make it. Heel all around, enemy coming behind. Ain't got nowhere to go, but I still wait. Look up, and I tell him I gotta run, 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 run. Gotta run, 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 run. Gotta run.
Let the river flow. Let the waters run like a fountain. Let the rain of your presence shower down on me. On me. Let the dew fall like manna with the freshness of an evening bread, and let all this living water, Lord, let all this living water flow. Lord, let all this living water shower down on me, on me. Flow, river flow, rain, spirit rain, and fall, fall like manna upon me, upon me. Flow, river flow, rain, spirit rain, fall. fall like manna on me, on me. Flow, river flow, yeah. Rain, spirit rain, and just fall like manna upon me, upon me. Just flow, river flow, and rain, spirit rain, and fall like manna upon me, upon me, and let all this living water, Lord, let all your living water flow. Lord, let all your living water shower down on me, on me, on me, on me, upon me.
Will your heart and soul say yes? Will your spirit still say yes? There is more that I require of thee. Will your heart and soul say yes? Now will your heart and soul say yes? Will your spirit still say yes? Yes. If I told you what I really need, would your heart and soul say yes? Now will your heart and soul say yes? Yeah. Will your spirit still say yes? God is saying, there is more that I require of thee. Will your heart and soul say yes? Will your heart and soul say yes? Yeah. Will your spirit still say yes? If I told you what I really need from thee, would your heart and soul say yes? So
Just say open up your heart and tell the Lord yes. Say yes. Say I'll obey Jesus. I won't stray, Jesus. But this time I'm made up in my mind. I'm made up in my mind. I'll say yes. My soul says yes. My mind says yes. My heart says yes. Yes, I will, Jesus. Yes. I'll do what you want me to do. I'll say what you want me to say. I'll go if you lead me, 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 I'll go. Lift your hands and tell the Lord yes. Come on, open up your heart and say yes. Yes. All God wants is yes. All God wants, all God wants, all God wants is yes. Yes. I won't be afraid. I'll stand out on your word. I'll declare your glory. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. My soul says yes. Submit your way to his. Tell him yes. Tell the Lord. Say yes. Yes. I wanna do your will, Jesus. I wanna do your will. I wanna do your will. My soul says, yeah, 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 Jesus. My soul says yes, Jesus. My soul says yes. My soul says yes. My soul says yes. He's saying there is more that I require of thee. There is more that I require of thee. He's calling you higher. There is more that I require of thee. He said, don't be afraid of men in their faces. Don't be afraid, don't be afraid, don't be afraid. Hey, hey. He said, I'm calling you out of your dry places. I'm calling you out of your dry places. He said, come on up a little higher. Come on up a little higher. Come on up a little higher. 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 I'm calling you. I predestined you before the world began to do my will. To do my will. He's calling you higher. He's calling you higher. He's calling you. He's calling you. I was work the work of him that has sent me while it is day. For when night cometh, no man can work. No man can work. No man can work. I'll do the will of the Lord. He's calling you higher. He's calling you so much more, so much more. He said, seek my face. He says, seek my face. He says, hear my voice. He says, hear my voice. He says, hear my voice, hear my voice, hear my voice. The day you hear my voice, harden not your heart. I'm calling you higher. I'm calling you higher. So much more. So much more. So let your heart and soul say yes. Lord, you hear me when I call your name. Nothing's too hard. You can do anything. I tried so hard to put my trust in you, but my family's depending on me. So I'm asking you. One more time. Oh, Lord, I need you. Yes, I need you. Do it one more time. Lord, I'm counting on you. One more time. Oh, Lord, I need you. Lord, I need you. Yes. Do it one more time. Oh, Lord, I realize. Lord, I cannot. Oh, Lord, I cannot. Do it on my own. I'll try to do it on my own, but Lord, I know. I know I can't make it without you. Yeah, do it on my own. Oh Lord, listen. Sing it. There's one thing that I know is true. When everything else fails, yeah, I can count on you. With tears in my eyes, down on my knees. Can you do what you did before, Lord? I'm asking you, please. Lord, I've got to make my request known. I really need you. Come on, Pastor King. I need you to heal my sister. And I'm depending on you to repair my broken heart. Listen, Lord, I need you to pull my family through. You said trials come to make me strong. So I need you. I need you. One more time. Please, Jesus. I know that you're able. So I'm calling on you. I tried everybody else. They couldn't do it for me. Yes, Yes, God. Sing. At the altar. You can tell him.
Oh, my.
Tell him how you love him. Wherever you are, you can kneel down.
Where you So if your journey through life has been bittersweet, and the courage to dream has turned incomplete, oh my, at the altar your brokenness he will meet. Oh, there is joy in knowing he's near.
So on this life journey,
Oh, it's been a little bad.
the courage,
Courage to dream. Oh, my.
at the altar,
At the altar, he's waiting right there. He'll work everything out right for you. 'Cause I know there's no way in knowing he's
we're gonna sing it one more time. You can tell. Shh. Jesus.
nobody but Jesus. All about. He knows how to handle every situation. At the altar. You can tell him just how. Oh, what he has to say. You can tell him. Tell him how you feel, oh my God. How you thanking for who he is, for what he's done.
At the altar.
At the altar. To pray.
Thank you, Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
All you have to do is humble yourself right now and just go.
Go down
I'm going way, way down.
at the altar.
Come on.
I'm not gonna be ashamed.
My.
At this point, I don't care who's looking at me. Because I've been going through, I've been crying, I've been moaning. I don't know what to do right now.
My mama told me a long time ago
Hallelujah.
that I can take my burdens to the Lord.
Yes, God.
And leave them there. That's why I love him. I love him. I love him. I love him.
I don't care what it is. He has everything you need. It's right there. It's right there.
Man, I've been to a lot of beautiful churches. And they were filled with so many beautiful people. It was a pleasure to be there. But there's just this one church in Houston, Texas. I had to write a song about, 'cause they love me. They would say, you can run, you can run, you can run, you can run. But there's no hiding place you can't deny. Don't try to fight me, 'cause we love you and there is nothing you could ever do about it. If you get off track, turn around and come right back, because we love you and there is nothing you could ever do about it. If you lose your way, you still got a place to stay. So touch somebody, find out that they understand. When you tell them what you've been through, who you are, what you had to do. Believe it when you hear them say that the God we serve has made a way for you to lay your burden down. Rest and make a joyful sound, because we love you. There is nothing you could ever do, oh no, about it. If you get off track, turn around and come right back, because we love you and there is nothing you could ever do about it. If you lose your way, you still got a place to stay. So hug somebody now, hold tight till you let it out. Somebody's gonna stand right here and wipe away every tear. And if you need a friend, don't you wait outside, you can come on in. But even if you take your time, don't rush, it'll be alright, because we love you and there is nothing you could ever do about it. If you get off track, turn around and come right back, because we love you and there is nothing you could ever do about it. If you lose your way, you still got a place to stay. So just love, no fear. Follow me, let me hear you say, just love, no fear, just love, just love, Ooh, child, you look like my sister on my father's side. Ooh, child, you look like my brother on my father's side. Come closer, let me look at you. Ooh, child, you look like my sister on my father's side. Come closer, let me look at you. Ooh, child, you look like my brother on my father's side. You know him like I do, that's why.
Praise the Lord, everybody. Praise the Lord, everybody. We've come to celebrate the King. We've come to magnify and glorify the name of the Lord. For he is holy, he is righteous, and he is King. Let's celebrate our King. He's the ruler of everything. Let's lift his name on high. Come on, Zion, we praise our King. Let's celebrate our the ruler of everything. Let's lift
criticized, hid behind the childhood lies. Everything has changed since the blood. Since the blood. Since the blood. Oh, the blood. Born alone and left to die, rejected, often criticized, hid behind the childhood lies. Everything has changed since the blood.
Falling on us.
Since the blood.
It gave me purpose.
Since the blood.
It set you for us.
Since the blood.
Who can be against us?
Hopeless, falling from the air, reaching but no hand is there. Screaming quiet, no one cares. I might as well have died, but the blood.
Falling on us.
But the blood.
It gave me purpose.
But the blood.
It set you for us.
Oh, the blood.
Who can be against us?
Oh.
Oh, the cleansing power that takes the guilt away.
Jesus.
The Lamb was sacrificed. Now we no longer fear the grave.
Yes, Jesus.
No more condemnation.
Hallelujah.
The debt of man is paid by the blood.
By the blood.
But for the blood.
Say that one more time. By the blood.
By the blood.
By the blood.
But for the blood. Now we are never alone.
Yeah.
Your blood it makes
Yes.
us strong.
Now.
Now there is power to move on.
We are.
Never.
Yes.
We are never alone. Now we are never alone. Your blood it makes us strong. Now there is power to move on. Never, we are never alone.
Sarah in Cleveland, her and her 2 children lost their home. Daryl in Houston, college graduate, out of work for 2 years. Brian, my neighbor, lost his child, drowned in their family pool. And the millions of unemployed Americans living with no health insurance, and the millions living in poverty in one of the wealthiest countries in the world.
I know I'm the one who's confused about reality, and I know I'm the one who's jeopardizing my destiny. And no matter how I try to do it out here on my own, I know I am better when I'm in your arms and not alone. Because you made me, know me, shaped me, formed me into your image, and I know you'll take me, mold me until I look just like you. So I made up my mind that I wanna be lonely, because it's been a long time since I let you hold me. Can't live without your love. The only thing I'm thinking of is being in your arms. I'm coming home to you. I wanna do better this heart and make it clean. And I know you're the only one that can take me to my destiny. You made me, know me, shape me, form me into your image. Yeah, mold me until I look just like you. I can't live without your love. The only thing I'm thinking, I really need you. I really need you. Coming back home. Coming back home. With sincerity and humility, it's written all over my face that I'm sorry. I love you. I wanna come home. I don't wanna be lonely no more. I can't live without your love. The only thing I'm thinking, I wanna be back in your arms. Yeah, wanna come home. I'm so happy, yeah. I wanna say thank you for forgiving me. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for a new start, a new start. Hello to the future, so long to the past. Brighter days are ahead.
We expect you. Anytime, and how we await to see your blessed face, Lord, your blessed face, and we expect you. We expect you. Anytime, anytime, Lord, how we await to see your blessed face, your blessed face, Lord, we expect you. We expect you. Oh, we expect you. Anytime.
So until you return, Lord, we will keep the fire.
Keep the fire.
Oh, yes, we will.
Keep the wheels
Keep the praises ringing in our soul. Just for your return. What's your promise? To come and take us home.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of the Morning Glow. We got a topic we're going to talk about this morning that may be a little controversial. Maybe a little controversial. So we want to, before we get started, we want to go ahead on and apologize to some because they might find it a little bit offensive what we're going to talk about today. But it's a topic that we do here on the Morning Glow. We talk about things that a lot of church folks don't want to talk about. And this is certainly one of them right here that church folks don't want to talk about. They don't want to address it at church. It happens all the time. It happens all the time. You'll be amazed how much this happens that we're going to talk about today. But before we get into that, I want to take this opportunity right now and introduce to some and present to others the cast and the crew. My name is Raheem Algebra. I'm just a fella sitting here, so I'm not really important. These are the ones that's important right here. This young lady, she's important. This young man, he's important. I'm going to introduce them to you right now, just in case y'all may not know who they are. But this young lady first, the ladies first. This young lady right here, she wake up every morning with the happy song, on her heart. She wake up every morning with the happy song on her heart. And if you want a word, you go to her. She's going to give you a word. She's not going to sugarcoat, not going to dress it up. She's not going to fabricate the truth. She's going to tell you the truth, but she's going to try to keep it as upbeat and as positive as she can. This is our sister from another mother, but we got the same father. This is Dr. Carolyn. Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Oh, great morning. I'm doing absolutely wonderful, and I'm ready to hear this controversial topic on this morning, so I'm just getting ready.
Good deal, good deal. Now, let me introduce you to this brother right here. This right here, now this is my brother from another mother, but we got the same father. This is my brother from another mother. He put the capital F in front of it. He will make your spleen jump out and your liver run up the street. If you don't believe what I'm saying to you, you'll book him and you will see firsthand for yourself. And everybody that's in your congregation or wherever you are, they will see firsthand who this brother is. This is my brother from another mother, but we got the same father. This is Big Daddy Laugh a Lot. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning, sir?
How you do?
Man, I'm doing good, man. Hyena happy, elephant elated, and porcupine proud this morning. Now, do y'all want to talk about a few things, or y'all want to jump right into this topic? What y'all want to do? Tell me what y'all want to do.
If you're gonna take the Band-Aid off, the store, you might well rip it off.
Good deal. Okay, the topic that we're going to talk about today that a lot of churches don't want to talk about, don't want to address. It happens every day in a lot of congregations throughout the United States of America and throughout the world. And the question is this: Can you rape your spouse, or do their body legally belong to you? Can you rape your spouse, or do their body legally belong to you? Laugh, what do you say to that?
Yeah, you can rape them. You can rape them.
But
even though y'all become one.
Exactly.
That person still own the right to have the right to say no or yes. Love is not forced. You know what I'm saying? You take someone just their will, and they're not consensual with it. Even if y'all all married, and the Bible tells woman, cleave to her husband cleave to his wife, and all these, they should honor one another, but if he say to her, hey, the night that I think you're the woman, she like, maybe I'm not feeling that way right now, and tell you gonna do it regardless. You're imposing your will on that person, even though by right, but legally, you still can go. You still can get in trouble for it. If you still can get in trouble for it, then hey, you're raping. You're raping. If you still can get in trouble for it, you're raping. You're doing wrong.
Okay.
So
they say they can't hear you. Okay. Wow. Dr. Cullen, what do you say to that? Can you rape your spouse, or do their body legally belong to you?
Wow. Yeah, that's a controversial topic.
Absolutely. But and at the same time, can you see, Dr. Cullen? Can you see, Dr. Cullen? Can you see, Dr. Why a lot of this is one of the topics right here that a lot of churches, they're not going to talk about this inside the church. They're not going to talk about this.
Right.
And they got people that's hurting every day. You got people that's hurting every day that's walking into that church hurting every day, but they can't. There's nobody they can really talk to in the church because they don't want to address this. Maybe it's a deacon, maybe it's a associate pastor, maybe it's even the pastor that's doing this. So who do you talk to? If the first lady is the one that's being victimized, but what if? No. Let me say this. What if it's the pastor? His wife and his wife is actually raping him. Who do he talk as a man? Who do he go and talk to? What do you mean she raping you, bro? What you talking about? She raping you, man? You okay? That's the attitude that a lot of people will give when if a man come and say that my wife keep raping me. So what do? Go ahead, Dr. Colonel. What's on your heart?
Well, I do not think that a man have a right to rape his wife. No, sir.
Is it rape though?
No circumstance. No, sir.
Is it rape though? Is it rape?
Yes, sir. Yeah. If it is, the legal definition of rape is the unlawful sexual activity carried out forcibly or under threat of injury. I'm reading it, or threat of injury against the will of usually a female. No, if you have sexual intercourse or force yourself, even if it's your wife, if you have I will balance it out by saying that we know with marriage that you should give yourself to your mate. But even if, let's just say, the woman is not consenting and not as she should consent, you don't have a right to take it. No, that's illegal. That's illegal.
Okay.
That's illegal. And especially if it's something that you're doing, and she is constantly saying, I don't want to do it for whatever the reasons are, and you continue to force yourself. You should never force yourself. Why would you force yourself on somebody? God don't force himself on us. So you're not. If you're doing that, then you're not even demonstrating the love of God, because God never forces himself on us. So no, and I'm speaking from a woman. No, and a man neither, but no woman should be forced to engage in any type of sexual activity. You should never go against her will, to do it. Now, if you feel like you have to go to that far, y'all need to sit down and have some counseling in terms of why your wife won't consent. And I would say this. I'm going to put this on out here because that's probably going to make some people mad. This particular topic right here, I guarantee you that the men going to have a different answer than the women. Watch it.
Yeah, absolutely. And see, that's the thing. And a lot of times, the reason why that is because there's there's not a lot of conversation. Not a lot of people actually talking about this topic, and so they can't, because men think a certain way and women think a certain way, but they need to come together because when you become married, you certainly become one, and you have a responsibility to that other person. Now, does that include having to do things that you don't want to do. Maybe one of them just had a bad day, a long day. They're just tired. They come home. They just don't feel like it. Should the other person force themselves to say, "Look here, you are my husband or you are my wife. You're gonna do this tonight. I know. I apologize. You had a bad day. I apologize. I had a long day. But we gonna do this tonight. I got some needs here that I need to be met." Now, how insensitive is that? Laugh loud. How insensitive is that?
That's not a godly man.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
That you say you stand for the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you have a love for your spouse, and your spouse tells you they're not in the mood right now, that doesn't mean that she don't want to do it later on, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't force her to do it, well, you gonna do it right now, you know. We ain't waiting. I don't know what you talking about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But what kind of man that show you are?
Exactly. But
you know,
mm-hmm.
you forcefully tell someone that you gonna do what I want you to do. That's a controlling spirit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you know, if you doing that, to someone, you're violating the right to say that you do love them. Because how they gonna perceive you? How they gonna look at you from that point on?
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And
you know,
and that person. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, let me think about it from the beginning. When you was dating, right? When you was dating, you did everything a gentleman's supposed to do.
Exactly.
You know, hey, you know, I know it takes a little time for us to get to this point, you know, where we're gonna engage in activities with one another. But she told you, hey, not tonight. You know, maybe at that time we get to a little bit more better understanding one another.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You were like, cool. And if you did it that particular time, and you told, no, you're going to do it tonight, now, they consider that rape, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Because you're not married.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever you did before you met that individual, you were showing love and compassion. Why you don't extend that same love and compassion when you become as one? You're supposed to be more loving, more compassionate.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're supposed to be the protector, the provider, and the high priest.
Mm-hmm.
How are you protecting her? You were taking her rights away from her being protected.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
So that's what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, basically, you just come in and say, listen, whatever your opinion is, it doesn't matter. Because my needs and my wants right now are the only thing that's important. You're not important at this moment. I'm going to do what I need.
But
then once you do that, and that person don't interact with you or give you the way that she want you to engage in his activities with you, what are you going to feel?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like a total heel.
Mm-hmm.
Like a total heel.
Exactly. But you got some people that's going, and Dr. Curl, I'm coming to you with this. You got some people that's going to stand behind that thing, that scripture that says, well, your body belongs to me and we become one, and you have to do what it is that I want you to do, because, we are one. You are my wife. You are my husband. If I want it, you have to give it to me. What do you say to that? Dr. Curl?
Yes, I'm going to say that you cannot. It's still not right.
Mm-hmm.
It's still not right. Again, you that's not love.
Mm-hmm.
You see, but the scripture also says for husbands to love their wives as Christ loved the church.
Uh-huh.
And I don't believe the God I serve would ever force me to do something that's against my will.
But doesn't it also say that the wife should submit to the husband?
And that's where the balance does come out. She should. That's why I say if there's an issue with her submitting, then there's some counseling that needs to take place because there could be some, it could be some, because you're not supposed to hold back from your partner. But then, there's all kinds of reasons why that could be taking place. It just depends, Oftentimes when women going through the change of life, their bodies don't react sexually the way they used to. That could be a problem. It could be a medical problem. It could be a psychological issue. But that's the reason why if you and your spouse are having problems with her wanting to consent to that, or it could be vice versa. But sometimes men can't do what they got to do either, and that's a very big problem. So then, but that's where counseling comes in. You talk about it. You go and you sit down and you talk about it. You find out what's going on. Why won't she consent to me? But you never, you don't control people. That's not God. And no woman should be sitting, especially talking about if it's a pastor, a man of God, or something. Never should be sitting and she feels like her body is being taken advantage of by her own husband. That's disgraceful.
It is. And I'm going to read something. Paula Wilson Childress, she said that she should submit, but there are times that she can say no. She said there are times that she can say no. Now, if I agree with that. I certainly don't condone anybody, force anybody to do anything sexual or any other thing. But my thing is, she said she should submit, but there are times that she can say no. Now, during those times where she can say no, is that submitting? Laugh, what do you say to that?
Oh, man. Run that by me one more time. Make sure I heard it right.
Paula Wilson Childress on Facebook Live, she said that she should submit, but there are times that she can say no. Now, during those times when she's saying no, is she actually submitting during those times?
Well,
Come on, y'all. This is Morning Glow. You know how we do. Let's tackle this thing, man.
She's submitting. She's submitting her right to say yes or no. She have that right. Because you're not gonna feel that way. Just like Claire said, if that's just okay, that's even for a man. And that's what brings on a lot of infidelity.
It does.
And that's what brings on a lot of things that we're not ready for in relationships. I'm gonna tell you something. It's a dark side to marriage in ministry. That a lot of people, this is one, like you said, it's a controversial topic, and you have to be very careful in how you choose your words.
Absolutely.
Because this is like this you walking on eggshell moment.
But see, Laugh, I'm gonna say this to you, and you're absolutely right. It is, and you have to be real mindful about what you're putting out there because we're not just talking amongst ourselves. We're talking to 45 countries, so we got to be careful what we put out there in the atmosphere. We have to be real careful. That is true, but this is the thing this is why we're here basically because this is one of the topics that a lot of people in church. You can't go to your church and talk about this.
But let me tell you this now. Let me say this now. There's a dark side to everybody. Understand what I'm saying? And sometimes you can let that dark side sleep, or you can wake it up.
Come on.
It's on the individual. But I think a woman should be left the right to say no if she chooses. And if a man say no, if he chooses. Because that shows that, I'm giving you opinion, a voice.
Okay.
In the relationship that we're in. But, that's just like when in the Bible, you know, a lot of time when you're fasting, you should sustain from, you should have abstinence from, you know, doing these type of things, engaging in it. You know, but the partner should let the other partner know I'm on a fast. And, you know, and I'm not engaging in any kind of, you know, and the husband should respect that because she's trying to get a close connection with God, you know, and even vice versa for the woman.
Yes.
You know, if he's asking or something too, you know, that you should want them to be, purify themselves at that moment. You know, it ain't like you're going to pass out, I ain't going to be able to make it through the night. If you don't tighten up the night, I ain't going to be able to make it.
Exactly.
But when we put an emphasis on our needs when it comes to an individuality or something of that nature. So you have to be real careful when you're speaking about things of that nature. Because I'm going to tell you something, there's a lot of people out here broken, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Marriage in a lot of trouble because she's taking place.
Let me exactly. Let me do this right here. I want to open up the phone lines. If anybody have any thought or any idea or dealing with something along these lines, give us a call. 678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. Now we have with us our other sister from another mother, but we got the same father has joined us. This is a young lady all the way down there from Hollywood, Mississippi. That is. This is Annie from Mississippi, the wig capital of the world. You know I had to get it in there. Annie, what's going on? How you doing this morning?
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm doing.
Hey, Sister Annie, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing wonderful, my sister. How are you?
Lord Jesus.
I'm doing so good. Did you hear this controversial topic? My goodness.
I saw it on Facebook, but I haven't heard any of the the feedback. But I did see it on Facebook. That's why I just called in.
Okay. Well, we're talking about, can you rape your spouse, or do their body legally, Annie, belong to you? What do you say to that?
Well, I know that in the Bible. Let me get y'all speakerphone.
Okay.
I know how God speaks about the body. You know, the husband, you know, how the wife, you know, belongs to him and all that. But my first husband, after we got married, I